Can one honest decision erase a lifetime of lies? Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to learn chapter The Broker, written by Swaroop Kisan. This story is about a cattle broker named Tansukh who spends his life deceiving people. One day he faces a difficult moral choice that changes the way he sees himself. Before I begin, let me introduce you to the character, students. The first character is Tansukh, a cattle broker who earns money by helping people buy and sell cattle. The second character is the old man, a poor father who wants to buy a buffalo for his sick son. The third character is Kashi, a poor villager who wants to sell his buffalo to pay for his wife's treatment. The fourth character is Kashi's wife. She is suffering from cancer and needs medical treatment. The fifth character is Kashi's children, young children who are worried about their sick mother. The sixth character is the sick son, the old man's son who needs milk for recovery. The last character is the buffalo, the animal that becomes the center of the story's conflict. Students, now let's begin with the first part, that is the famous broker. Tansukh introduces himself as a well-known cattle broker. He proudly says that he tells many lies and helps traders make deals. Because of his profession, many people know him and treat him with respect. Now let's move on to the next part, that is Master of Manipulation. Tansukh explains that he can make a bad animal look valuable, a good animal look worthless. He knows how to influence both buyers and sellers for his own benefit. The next part is a guilty profession. Although Tansukh is skilled, he admits that his work is not good. He knows that lying and cheating are wrong, but he continues because he has no other source of income. Now let's move on to the next part, that is thinking about his life. One summer evening, Tansukh lies on a charpai outside his house. He notices the damaged roof and old surroundings. These things make him think about his aging life and the wrong deeds he has committed. Now let's move on to the next part, that is regret and self-reflection. Tansukh remembers how people he had cheated over the years. He feels guilty about selling sick animals and manipulating innocent people. Now let's move on to the next part, that is arrival of the old man. An old man arrives at Tansukh's house and greets him. He asks for help in buying a buffalo. Tansukh immediately feels that this may be a chance to do something good. Now let's move on to the next part, that is the buffalo belongs to Kashi. The old man says he wants to buy Kashi's buffalo. Hearing Kashi's name, Tansukh remembers Kashi's poverty and his wife's serious illness. Now let's move on to the next part, that is Kashi's problem. Kashi needs money urgently because his wife has cancer. He hopes to sell his buffalo and use the money for her operation. Now let's move on to the next part, that is the buffalo's condition. Tansukh remembers that the buffalo is unhealthy. It has suffered several miscarriages and the veterinarian has warned that it may not survive another one. Now let's move on to the next part, that is the old man's story. The old man explains that his son has been ill for 2 years. The doctor has advised him to drink milk regularly. So buying a buffalo seems necessary. Now let's move on to the next part, that is a difficult choice. Now Tansukh faces a serious dilemma. If he helps sell the sick buffalo, the old man may suffer. But if he refuses, Kashi may lose the money needed for his wife's treatment. Now let's move on to the last part, that is the final decision. Unable to decide whom to hurt, Tansukh breaks down. He shouts that he is not broker and tells the old man to do whatever he wants. His conscience finally overpowers his profession. Students, now let's move on to conclusion. The story shows how guilt and conscience can affect a person's decision. Tansukh finally realizes the pain caused by dishonest actions and struggle to choose between two helpless families. Students, now let's see what is the moral. True humanity begins when we listen to our conscience instead of our selfish interest. Students, if you like the video, like, share, subscribe and do comment.